What's going on, good people? This video, I'm going to discuss the shed assembly that I did some time ago. This particular shed assembly, the customer bought the shed that you see here from Wayfair and paid for the assembly services for it to be put together. Let's go. All right, so this is what the shed, once I got it out of the box, what it looked like. As you see, everything is stacked in kind of like a pallet type style, and is all, I don't know what that type of tie is called, but it's all tied together. And on the end over here, the parts were contained, so the fasteners and so forth that were necessary to, put it together. All right, and so once I got the base out, the first parts were to assemble the sides, and so that's what you see here. And then the back is actually in two pieces. There's a lower half and an upper half. You can kind of see the gap right in here, and then those attached to the two side pieces. And then the next part is to attach the roof, and it has some hinges, or excuse me, it has like some shocks that hold the roof up. So you literally, when you open it out, but so like the doors open out, but then the roof also comes up, and that's what you're seeing here. And so getting the roof on, it does specify in the instructions that you need to do this with two people. However, I was able to manage to do this by myself. It was a little bit more complex because I had to use one hand to hold it and then another hand to actually tighten up the screws on each side for this. But again, it is, although it says two people, you can do it by yourself. All right, and then this is the final product. As you see here, I have the two doors here, and then the top closes. So if we, I have another photo where it closes. So this is what it looked like finally assembled. And here you have these two, it allows you to put a lock on it. And so what you do, you can just run the lock through here. And so the whole thing is used to, you can lock it all together, don't have to worry about anybody getting in it or any critters getting in it. This product is actually designed for trash can storage, but the customer was going to be using it for storing his pool chemicals, because he had them in a location that he didn't want. In addition, the storage solution that he had been there for a while, and you can tell it had been weathered by the sun and other elements. It too was also a plastic, like shelving system, if you will. But he wanted to get something different and to be able to put it in a different spot of the yard. That way he had more space on the patio area. I say that this storage solution is for trash cans, and the reason being is because so these two chains that you see here, these are actually designed to hook on trash can lids, so that when you raise this top up, the trash can lids automatically come up too, and then when you close it, they close back down. And then when it's trash day, you open this up, you wheel it out to the street, and then you wheel it back in once you're done. Not sure of the exact dimensions of this storage shed, but like I mentioned, the customer did get it from Wayfair. And so while the customer was working, excuse me, while I was working on this for the customer, it just so happened that his neighbor came out and was asking, well, what you got going on over there? I said, you got a guy working, that guy being me, of course. And so he was like, yeah, he's putting the shed together so I can put my chemicals in it. Well, then the neighbor was like, hey, I got a shed that needs to be put together too. And so afterwards, I went over to the neighbor's house, and so they had a shed that was there. They had bought the shed, and somebody else was going to put the shed together for them. However, they hadn't put it together, and it had been some time since it had been purchased. So it was just sitting in the backyard, not being used because it was still in pieces. So the neighbor did not have the instructions. So I did my best effort to try to get it together. And this is initially where I got at when putting it together. So you got the top, the bottom, and the sides. And so I eventually did get the doors on. I was kind of sketchy about how to do some of the other parts of putting it together. So I did manage to find the um, instructions for this shed, and let's just say that instruction set had 43 steps in it, which is a lot. The customer had a lot of spare parts from it, but again, they were scattered. They weren't sure where everything was, and because of the fact it had been so long from when they bought it to that time point when I was there to assemble it, it the chance of actually getting it 100% right was very slim. But I did get it put together, as best as possible. This is the final product of it, and as you see here, I mean, it had been sitting out so long that even the hinges started rusting from it being in the elements. It's not built exactly the way it should be built, but it does allow the that neighbor to be able to store stuff in there. One of the main things that she wanted to store was like some of the items that they had in the yard, like pool chemicals as well. So this offered that type of solution. And so this is actually a photo of what that shed should look like. And as you see, I got it with minus the shelving that's not in there. It pretty much looks exactly like what it's supposed to according to the photo. And this is the closed up version. Now, the version that I was putting together actually had a door handle instead of this latch here. But essentially the concept of the design and the concept were exactly the same. So so much for trying to figure things out. Normally, this was kind of one of those one-off scenarios where you do good work and then other people see the work and be like, hey, I got something else. You want to do this? And that's essentially what happened in this case. I didn't come over there to help the neighbor out. The neighbor just so happened to be conversing with the customer and was like, well, hopefully you can help me out with this one and see what he can do. And so I did. So it kind of worked out in my favor because I was able to make some additional money. All I had to do was just drive to the house next door after doing that original job. So that will wrap things up for this video. Any questions about putting a shed together or doing this particular assembly, feel free to drop a comment down below. If you want to sign up as a Handy Pro, I'll have a link, and this link is a referral link, and you do get commissions off of it if you use this link to sign up. Handy is while it may not pay as great as you would like, it does allow you to get clients and build your business like I have been doing. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of people that do handyman work was like, nope, don't do handy, don't do handy. And from the pay, if this is your sole job, then yeah, you're probably not going to make a lot of money from it. But if you're trying to build your customer base, it is a great way to do so without getting a lot of or spending a lot of money. Pretty much you get the customer and then give them your information, and if they have future projects like what has happened in my case, they'll contact you again in the future. All right. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. I do these videos and I am interested if you are interested in these videos as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That lets me know you're interested. That also lets YouTube know that others know about this video as well. And last but not least, please be sure to subscribe. Subscriptions do help the channel. Until next time, peace out.